Hey, sports fans, PBnZ Sports Chaos. So we have to say Happy Mother's Day, right, PB?
Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there.
We would get in a lot of trouble if we didn't. All right, we get playoffs. Playoffs. Yes, we're talking playoffs. NBA, NHL playoffs. PB, you've been, we'll talk NHL first. You've been to this round against the Bruins and Panthers, and you just told me a little funny story offline. The Panthers game one tickets 1 hour beforehand. You could have bought tickets for $65 and gone to the game that night. Game one.
I could have. I already had my tickets bought for Wednesday. I paid $125 for my game Wednesday night, which isn't bad. And then I just went off for the hell of it just to look. And I'm like, I don't know if I can go both nights during the week. And that was an 8 o'clock game. So I ended up not going, but that would have been the game to go to, right?
Bruins fans, that's never happening in Boston. We are real fans. $65? First of all, you can't even get a ticket in Boston, $65. 1 hour before the game? Give me a break. Florida, that's why they need to be knocked out. They have to be knocked out. So let's start right there. The Bruins are down 2-1.
You can't get a preseason ticket for $65.
No, you can't. Right? I mean, Fenway's the only place you get a ticket that price nowadays because they stink. But PB, the Bruins are down 2-1. They did win that first game, obviously, and they've lost the last two. Do they have a shot in your mind?
Man, based on the eye test at this point, it's going to be a real tough battle. I mean, they got to win tonight. We know that. I mean, they have to figure out a way to win tonight. Swayman, I mean, I don't want to say that he's not playing up to his capability because a lot of the goals aren't his fault, but some are. And
do you make the switch?
So they went into the whole playoffs with the mentality of going Swayman Elmach, but then they stopped as soon as they lost that game 2 to Toronto. They bailed, and they've been going with Swayman since, except they had to pull him that one game. I don't know. I think if you went with stuck with your guns going in, I think it might have been a better play because you can get a spark from that other goalie, you know. But as it stands right now, I think Florida's the more talented team. I mean, it's showing, you know, they're more physical, they're playing better, they're playing better on the power play, they just look good, man. I would say at this point, no, I wouldn't pick Boston to win that series.
By the way, you're the hockey guy. As a casual hockey fan, the Bruins just don't shoot the puck. I mean, they've had 2 games now. They've had one shot in the first period and another one with 2 shots in the first period.
I know. And the other night, at one point, it was like 17-4, I think, shots on goal.
You can't win if you don't shoot, right?
Almost midway, right. And that's another thing, though. Florida closes down the shooting lanes. They block a lot of pucks. They play good defense. That's what I'm saying. Just watching the series, I think that game 1 was an anomaly of the Bruins winning the way they did down here in Florida. I think the Panthers could very well just win this thing in 5 at this point.
By the way, the Bruins stars, which are Pasta and Marchand, they haven't shown up really, in my opinion. What do you think?
No, I mean, except for that one overtime goal in game 7 that really mattered, right? When Pasta scored there. Then
he hasn't shown up the entire playoffs. At least Marchand had a good series against Toronto, but Pasta hasn't really shown up at all.
No, and then he got his ass handed to him in that fight at the end of game 1 too.
hey, tip of the hat though for doing it though, right? I mean, everybody else fought, and he went out there and fought with Kachuk, and so tip of the hat because I think that's his second fight in his life.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
The other series, Rangers ended up losing last night to the Hurricanes. That's 3-1, but that's just semantics. Rangers are going to win that thing in 5.
Yeah, and this series could be a lot closer. There's been 3 straight overtime games.
True, that's true. Yeah,
Rangers won game 1, and then they had the chance in game 2 overtime, game 3 overtime, game 4 overtime. I mean, if you won 2 of those instead of just 1, it'd be 2-2 right now. You know, so I don't think the Rangers are that much better than Carolina.
Ooh, okay.
But I can tell you that the Rangers will give obviously either the Panthers or the Bruins. I'm going to say the Panthers at this point. They'll give them a run for their money. That's going to be a hell of a series.
Ooh. All right. How about out west? I mean, I've been rooting for the Stars and Avs to play in a series for the, go to this Cup for a long time. Do we get that this year? Right now, the Stars. I mean, not the Stars, but the Colorado against Oilers, right?
Edmonton. Okay. Yeah.
So the Stars are up 2-1 against Colorado at the moment.
Right. And didn't Dallas just win in Colorado last night? Yeah. So that's a big win right there, right? Getting one on the road. You're up 2-1. Man, Dallas, they're scrappy, aren't they? They just seem to get by. They got by Vegas in the first round, Bailey, right?
Yeah,
This series has 7 games written all over it.
that would be good. That'd be good for hockey.
That'd be good for sure. And I do like it. I think, and Vancouver's, you can't count Vancouver out either. I mean, they've been coming back from being down like 3 goals and scoring and 2 empty. One game they had 2 empty net goals. At the end of the game, they were down 2. They pulled the goalie. They scored twice. I mean, this team doesn't give up either.
I didn't even have them in the playoffs when we did our pre NHL season show, and here they are on the verge of beating the team that I thought would be perhaps in the finals.
Yeah, but I would love for hockey sake and for superstar stake. You're right. An Avalanche Oilers Western Final will be the best. Hands down.
Totally agree. Totally agree.
And it would be and for hockey, it would be Bruins Rangers would be the best for the East if it could get there.
All right. So speaking of that, we would love to see that Boston against New York. Also in the NBA, you have the Celtics and the Knicks. Celtics right now are up 2-1 after losing game 2 once again at home. They have 14-14 in the playoffs at home since 2021, I believe. Knicks are up as well in their series. Do you think both those teams hold on and win? Celtics and the Knicks?
Yeah, I do. And since the beginning, I said I like the Celtics to go all the way this year. And I know I think you had the Bucks kind of getting in there somehow, some way, but that's okay.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, the Celtics, they're fearsome on the road. Like they don't care. Like same exact way the series has gone, right? They won game 1, they lost game 2 at home, they won on the road against Miami. They ended up winning the next 3 straight to win.
Yep.
And they're going to do the same thing here, I think, with Cleveland. I mean, I think it's going to be the same exact series. They win in 5. Knicks probably going to, is that 2-2 now or 2-1?
No, the Knicks are up 2-1.
2-1. So, and they got to play another game in Indiana.
Yeah.
If Indiana wins that game, that series could very well push 7 games. Would be great for the Celtics if they can win in 5 again, right? And kind of get a little bit of rest, get ready for the Knicks. But yeah, I could see a Celtics-Knicks Eastern Final very easily. And I think the Celtics will crush the Knicks just like they're going to crush every other team in their way.
I would love to see both Boston, both New York teams. That would be iconic to see them both in the conference finals, right? NHL, NBA.
100%.
Oh. Speaking of though, you just mentioned the Stars in the NHL. The Mavs, also from Dallas, so you get 2 Dallas teams. The Mavs are up 2-1 against OKC. I'm shocked because you know I'm the biggest hater of Kyrie and Luka, who does not play any defense at all. I think is it possible the Mavs are going to pull this off and upset OKC, the #1 seed?
I don't know if they do. I think they'll get killed in the next round. I think either Denver or Minnesota will take care of Dallas. I mean, I can't see Dallas in the finals. I just can't.
I can't either. Oh yeah. God!
But an OKC Denver or an OKC Minnesota would be a great Western Conference final. So
by the way, I had Nuggets going to the final and repeating. They're in trouble. They are in trouble right now. Do you agree?
Yeah, Minnesota's man. They're I get better than I gave them credit for. Let's put it that way.
They got, you know what? Not many teams go with the center anymore. They got 2 7-footers. People forget about that. Karl-Anthony Towns, and they got the Gobert, the Defensive Player of the Year. Minnesota is going to be. And by the way, the Celtics, I don't think, could beat Denver, and I know they can't beat Minnesota with those 2 7-footers, especially if Porzingis is still out, which who knows when he's coming back. This is the one thing we're afraid of Porzingis. Would he be healthy the whole year? And when we really need him, he's not there, right?
Yeah, that's a tough loss, but they're still, playing their game. But I can see your point. They could struggle against a big team like that.
All right. So right now, given where all the series are, who do you got going to the finals in each league?
I think it's the Celtics. I'm going to go Celtics. I think Denver's going to just be they're just going to be resilient and figure out a way to get this done. So I'm going to stick with what I picked at the very beginning before we are.
Okay.
Which was Celtics Nuggets. So I'm going to stick with my guns there. It's going to be a tough road for Denver, but they can do it. And then in the hockey, I'm going to take the. I got to go with the homers. I got to go with the Panthers, and I will say against the Avs. I'm going to go Panthers, Avs.
Wow. All right. By the way, so once again, then the President's Cup winner does not get to the Stanley Cup and win it, right?
Yeah, right. I mean,
Because
that would,
the Rangers are the President's Cup winner, right?
yep. So
Wow.
the
Hey, you know what? I
curse-
gotta tell you, the way the Rangers are just mauling everybody, I don't care what the Panthers look like. Rangers are literally mauling everybody. I got the Rangers, and I'm gonna go with you. I'm gonna go with Avs, right? You had the Avs going,
yeah.
but that, you know what? It's kind of close, right? It's 1-1 in that series with Vancouver. And you already said Vancouver's sneaky good, so I'm a little nervous with that pick, but I'm gonna stick with it. And I'm gonna go Celts against Timberwolves. I think the Timberwolves finish the job and get it done, and then they beat whoever wins the next series, which will probably be OKC. I hope it's OKC. I do not want Dallas in the conference finals.
Yeah, neither do I.
All right, man. All right. We'll see what happens. Nice show. Again, happy Mother's Day. Talk to you soon.
All right.